guys, it's another green day out there in the market here today, and it's a very green day in the public account here today. As of right now, we're up over $22,000 in the public account here today. One of 7 stock market accounts. You know, this account has had an amazing past year, like just amazing. We have absolutely destroyed the market, and I'm very thankful for where this account has gone, needless to say. But in this video here today, we're going to look at the public account in its entirety, okay? We're going to look at every single stock in here. I'm going to talk to you about stocks I might sell that are in that account. I'm going to talk to you about some stocks I might buy, whether that's stocks I already hold in that account or brand new stocks. I'm actually going to show you some stocks, and we'll also talk about stocks that I'm just planning on holding. I'm not planning on selling them or buying them. So I hope you guys really enjoy this. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do some, more videos focused on looking at individual stocks, talking about individual stocks, stocks to sell, stocks to buy, things like that. I've been talking a lot about the market in general lately. So I hope you guys really appreciate this, and by appreciating, just smash the thumbs up button. We're just looking for 50,000 thumbs up on this video, something like that. Just a modest number, okay? And by the way, just so you guys know, the account we're looking at here today is called the public account. Every single move in that particular account is documented. I always let people know, before I even make the move, what stocks I'm thinking about buying, what stocks I'm thinking about looking into, and things like that. So if you want to know a lot more about the private group, go ahead and check out the first link in the description. I don't want to go into a 30-minute presentation in here. You can check that out if you want down there, okay? So here we go. Let's look at the public account. So I have it basically sorted by the worst stocks to the best stocks, I guess you could say, okay, in the public account. First thing is the account's doing amazing. We're up $209,000, and that doesn't account for the fact that we've taken, I think, $16,000 in profits in this account already this year, plus received a bunch of dividend money. It's absolutely amazing. 56% gainer on this one in total, okay? So let's start going through each of these positions. CCL. Obviously, this is our bad stock. And when I say bad stock, I mean really bad stock. I mean, it was a once in a 100-year event, happened basically right after we started getting in this one. And, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But here's kind of my opinion on CCL. And this has been one I've held. I've held it, all the way down to, where it bottomed. I think it bottomed at $8 a share or something like that. I was willing to hold it all the way down there. I was willing to hold it at 10 and 15, and now it's 20 plus. And in my kind of opinion on CCL, it's more of a hold for me when I look at CCL. I don't really want to buy the stock, but I'm not going to sell the stock at 21. I don't know. We've never been through a once in a 100-year event with the, obviously with the cruise industry. So we don't know how fast things are going to bounce back or not bounce back. But in my opinion, overall, the cruise industry will bounce back. It's just, I think the biggest question about this is, does the cruise industry bounce back super strong in 2021? Is it more like 2022? Is it more like 2023? Those are questions that still remain. I don't know this. I don't think anybody knows this, because once again, this is a once in a 100-year event that the cruise industry has never been through. So that's why this one for me, it's just a hold. It's not really something I got to go buy Carnival, but it's at the same time, I'm not selling Carnival. I'm just I'll just hold it. Hopefully, eventually we go green on that position. It might take us a year, it might take us 2 years. Who knows? Maybe longer than that. We'll see. But as of right now, when I look at CCL, it's a hold. Foot Locker, next stock up here, ticker symbol FL. Am I going to buy this one, sell this one, hold this one? Foot Locker, I think this one I would like to buy, but I don't really want to buy at the moment. I would love this one to go back under cost basis, which, is a long way from here because now it's up 14%. But I would love to add this one into a bigger position. I would have loved to build this into a 20K to 30K position. I actually like Foot Locker's business. They're one of the few physical retailers that, still really does most of their business in physical retail that I actually love. The Champ stores, the Foot Locker stores, those stores are still very busy. Even as this economy has started to open back up, I've gone to, a few different Foot Lockers, and they're actually busy. People want to buy new shoes and things like that. And I'm it's just awesome to see. So Foot Locker, I would love to buy this one, but I don't know if I necessarily want to buy it up 14%. If we have a drop in the market or a drop in Foot Locker in general, and it goes back to that, $29 cost basis somewhere around there, I'll probably buy some more Foot Locker because it is a very profitable business. When they're making the profits and they can actually be open, they make some very nice profits and they throw off some big fatty dividends, okay? And so Foot Locker, I love that one, okay? Maybe not so much, up 14%. Wynn Resorts, okay? Wynn Resorts. This one is very similar to a CCL with me, but obviously Wynn I'm up on versus CCL I'm down on. But the way I look at it, very, very similar, okay? So Wynn Resorts, obviously they operate gaming properties here in Las Vegas, the city I live in, as well as Macau, okay? And Macau is their bigger business. And they also have a property in Boston, but that's just a little mini property, okay? It's really about Macau, then it's about Vegas, then it's about the Boston property. We're up 11% on this one, and this one I can't really buy more. Do I want to sell Wynn Resorts at $103? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But do I want to buy? Not really. And here's the reason why. It's very similar to a CCL. It's a once in a 100-year event. I don't know how Vegas is going to open back up. We know Macau is open back up, and Macau is open super weak. I mean, if you look at the Macau numbers, they are beyond awful, like down like 90% plus GGR numbers. Like it is so bad in Macau, I can't even explain it to you guys how bad it is. It's like the numbers are awful, okay? So we still got to see Macau. What the heck is going to happen in Macau, okay? We still got to see how Vegas opens back up, and I'm definitely going to be going around the strip several times over the next few weeks and just kind of driving around, walking around and seeing like are people coming? Are people coming? Are they not coming? If they are coming, are they spending money? Like what is really going on in this whole situation? So, that's another one. The gaming industry has never been through a once in a 100-year event before. It just hasn't. And this is a first time, and we're going to get to see how this whole thing opens back up, and that's why it's just a hold for me, okay? Next one up here is Planet 13. So this is the newest stock up in the public count, actually. I think I just added it a couple days ago. So far, it's doing amazing for us. We're up like 33, 34% on 10,000 shares. Absolutely, I would love to add more Planet 13. It's a little hard for me to add some Planet 13 when the stock's up like 34% in a matter of, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, however long it's been since we bought into this one in the public count. But ultimately, Planet 13 has a massive opportunity in front of itself. I can definitely see the stock, being a 5x, 10x, maybe a more than 10x stock over the next 5 to 10 years as they open more and more locations around the United States. They, get more and more delivery options and things like that. I think that business model is going to just absolutely take off. I think obviously MJ is going to be federally legalized over time. Also, I think over time, once, MJ gets federally legalized, then Planet 13 holdings will be able to go on the NYSE. That will be a whole game-changing thing for the stock price in general, because then people won't look at it as, well, it's an OTC stock, which is how definitely some investors look at it right now. They say, well, it's an OTC stock and it's higher risk for that reason, and it definitely is, than say, a stock that's held on the NYSE or something like that. But over time, I think MJ will be on the right side of history. I think ultimately over time, these things will get federally legalized, and I think ultimately over time, Planet 13 is going to be a 5, 10x, if not more than 10x stock over time. So I might end up buying some more of that one, but it's going to hurt me to buy if I do buy more in the public count, because literally, I don't usually buy stocks that are up more than 10%. And to buy a stock that's up 34% in a few days, it would be a painful pill to swallow. But I might end up doing it. We'll see, okay? It's definitely a possibility for me buying some more there, okay? Cruisy doozy. 105% gainer on this one on 200 shares, okay, up $7,400 on Cruisy Doozy. And in terms of Cirrus Logic, a phenomenal audio chip supplier. This has been a stock I've been in and out of many times over the last, I don't know, probably 7, 8 years or so. And in terms of Cruisy Doozy, this company is phenomenal, but I can't buy any more of it, okay? I can't really buy any more of it. We've already doubled up our money. I already took a ton of profits in this stock last year in the public account. And the way I look at Cruisy Doozy is it's just a hold now. I'm just holding those 200 shares, and I might ultimately sell them off over time, although I love the company. They do get about 80%, okay? About 80% roughly of their revenues from just Apple, okay? This is something that's big because it is a big risk factor for Cruisy Doozy. Cruisy Doozy, I probably would have held longer term if it wasn't for that risk factor, but whenever you're so reliant on just one customer, if that relationship ever ever goes bad, it's just devastating to the stock. I mean, if let's say, Cirrus Logic came out and said they weren't going to be in the next generation iPhones because something happened with the relationship with Apple, or maybe, Cruisy Doozy didn't have the tech to do that or something like that, like the stock's going to be down 30, 40, 50+% the next day, okay? The next day. It would be that dramatic because you're talking about 80% of your customers. So, Cruisy Doozy, it's a hold for now. And if it goes, up to $85, $90, maybe hits a 52-week high, I might end up selling off that last 200 shares and cashing out that last bit of profit there, okay? So that one's more of a sell for me, but it's just not a sell yet, okay? Elf on a Shelf. This is a makeup and beauty company, sells very affordable products that are very high quality. People have a lot of good things to say about Elf. This is one I got in, I think it was around February, roughly, of 2019, sometime around there, and it did us amazing. We took a ton of profits in this one. This was kind of like a Cruisy Doozy last year. Took a ton of profits, and we're still holding profits, still holding over $10,000 in profits as of right now that we could literally take here today. Cost base in this one, $7.28, unbelievably low. And with Elf, it's another one. Am I going to buy more Elf here? No. But am I selling here? Not really, okay? I think in order to get me to sell Elf, the stock has to go over 20. If it goes over 20, I think that's where I say, you know what, maybe I'll just cash out the last 1,000 shares. But also I'm thinking about Elf Beauty in the respect of maybe it's just a super long-term hold. Maybe I just hold those 1,000 shares over the next, 5 years or so and see where this company goes. It is a very small cap company, relatively speaking. Maybe this is one I just hold and just see where it goes. Maybe they become a massive beauty giant over time. Time will tell with that one, but I might just end up doing that with Elf Beauty. So for right now, at least, Elf is a hold. If it goes over 20, I will start having some serious thoughts about possibly selling off and taking the rest of the profit in Elf, okay? That's Elf on a Shelf. Revolve, ticker symbol RVLV on this one, doing amazing for us, okay? I mean, we're up over 48% in the stock, up, 13,500 on 2,375 shares. Cost base on this one is $11.86. And for me, in terms of Revolve right now, it's a hold, okay? It's a hold. I would love to buy some more Revolve, actually. I would love to get up to about 3,000 shares, roughly, if not go a little over 3,000 shares, somewhere around there, roughly. But I'm not paying a 48% premium from where, my cost basis is on Revolve at the end of the day. So when I look at this one, I would love to add some more shares. But for right now, since we're up so massively on this position in a very short amount of time, this is a 2020 ad. This is a very, in a very short amount of time, the stock has gone crazy. So for me, it's a hold, okay? It's a hold. Am I selling Revolve anytime soon, even though we're up that huge, that fast? Absolutely not, because this is a company that if they can execute on a high level, there's massive upside potential here. And I don't like to sell out of a stock with massive upside potential when you've made, 48%. That goes back to my whole, breadcrumb chasers chase the breadcrumbs. I'm looking for the loaf of bread, okay? So when I at the end of the day with Revolve, it's a hold. It's just a hold for me. And I can't wait to see where things go over the next few years. If the stock ever dips huge again, I'll likely buy more shares. But outside of that, it's just a hold. I got a nice size position there, 2,375 shares. It's a good size position, okay? Fizzy Get Dizzy, they make the LaCroix product. They make other drink products, but LaCroix is the main one, okay? Fizzy Get Dizzy. 43.5% gain on a drink maker that we've held. This is another one of those stocks we bought this year in 2020, and it's just absolutely smashing it for us. We're approaching a $17,000 profit now on Fizzy Get Dizzy if we were to go ahead and sell out on 960 shares. So Fizzy Get Dizzy, I'm not selling that stock anytime soon, okay? This is definitely a hold for me, not just based upon valuation, what I think the likely turnaround for that business is and why it's similar to like an Elf Cosmetics, which I bought last year. I think that I see a lot of similarities there. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Fizzy Get Dizzy, I love the diversity it brings my portfolio. And whenever you run a portfolio of any size, especially, one that has, 600K in it, let's say, you got to really think in terms of, am I diversified? And Fizzy Get Dizzy, the fact that it's a drink maker, adds a lot of stability in there, because something like LaCroix, it sells well regardless if there's a recession, great economic times, or just okay economic times. And so it adds a lot of diversity and balance sheet phenomenal. Profitability through, unbelievable profitability. Let's just put it that way. So at the end of the day, Fizzy Get Dizzy, Am I buying more? No, I hold almost 1,000 shares. I'm good with that. Am I selling? Absolutely not. And if Fizz was to go with $60, $70, even $75, I still wouldn't sell out of that stock just because I love it, not just on a valuation once again, but on a diversity reasons, okay? iRobot stocks, this one's almost an $18,000 gainer for us if we sold out of it here today, up 75%. And I can tell you with iRobot, I'm getting close to thinking about selling it, okay? Am I gonna buy iRobot up here? Absolutely not, okay? When I bought into iRobot, and my cost base on iRobot is about 46 bucks, okay? When I was thinking about buying into that one, the way I kind of looked at it is, I think we're gonna 2x our money over the next, let's say 3 to 5 years, okay? A 2x, so meaning the stock goes to 90 bucks or somewhere around there roughly, okay? And here's what's happened. We've been in the stock for a very short amount of time, and it's, you know, it's up 75% plus, okay? Which means essentially, what I thought was going to happen with the stock might end up happening way sooner than I thought it was going to happen, which means essentially I'll be likely starting to exit this position sometime soon, okay? I don't know exactly when it would be, but it will be sometime soon, okay? If this stock goes to 85 plus, I'll start to sell out of my shares and I will slowly start to sell. And when it comes to a stock like iRobot, where I'm up huge on, and it's a decent sized position, what I end up doing is I sell in chunks, okay? So I sell a little bit, then a little bit more. So I might sell $5,000 to $10,000 worth, then another $5,000 to $10,000 worth, then another $5,000 to $10,000 worth, and I'll do that over time. But really, I'm looking for the stock above 85 to make me start selling this one. I'm kind of looking more around there. So that one, definitely getting very close to selling that one and not interested in buying any more iRobot, okay? The FB, okay, the FB, amazing stock, 50% gainer for us, up over $28,000, 371 shares, one of the biggest stocks in the entire portfolio. Definitely not selling that one. Not buying it either, although I could make an argument that I should be buying it even at 230, but I won't be buying it, okay? I'll just be honest, at 230, I'm not going to buy it. I should be buying it. It's just dumb that, you know, I just had this thing that I can't buy a stock that I'm up 50% on, but it's still honestly easy money at the end of the day over the next 5 years. Like, the stock's going to be definitely massively higher in 5 years from now than it is today. But with that being said, it's a hold for me. It's a hold for me. It's a very large position, obviously. You know, we're talking about 85K in that stock, over 85K rate of a 600K portfolio. So we're talking about a good chunk of change is just in that one stock, the FB. So at the end of the day, being that it's such a big position already, and being that, you know, we were up huge on it, 50% plus, I'm just going to go ahead and hold this one. Do I want to sell FB? Absolutely not. If FB could go to 300 tomorrow, I wouldn't sell FB. Literally, it could go to 300 tomorrow, I wouldn't sell it. It could go to 350 tomorrow, I wouldn't sell it. I have, you know, pretty strong confidence that the FB will be the biggest market cap company in the world within 5 years. We'll see what happens. You know, who knows what could happen with government regulation or anything like that. That's all wild cards out there, and those are definitely risk factors you have to take into account. And that's why even with a stock like this, I have a ton of belief in. I still have to limit position sizing. Let's put it that way. So the FB, it is a hold, and no plans to get out of that one anytime soon. Okay, and that's one of our longest holds in the public account, by the way. Definitely one of the longest holds in the public account, if not the longest, okay? Skyworks Solutions, ticker symbol SWKS, up over $40,000 on this one now. Thank you, Skyworks Solutions, okay? Over 81% gain now on Skyworks Solutions. So literally, we could sell out of this and take a 40K profit now. 650 shares. Skyworks Solutions, massive 5G opportunity in front of themselves. This is a great company when it comes to connectivity chips in general. But when I look at Skyworks Solutions, up 81%, up $40,000, I'm like, I don't really want to buy anymore. And it's a very similar situation to the FB, where, yeah, it's probably going to go up higher over the next 3 to 5 years. Otherwise, I wouldn't own this stock. I would have already sold out of it. But at the same time, it's almost $90,000 we have in this stock out of a 600K portfolio. So it's a massive position, and when you're talking about a massive position that is up huge, it's very hard to add more shares, okay? Because otherwise you get like under diversified, or you might just be adding at prices that might not be like, you know, the best, let's put it that way. So when I look at Skyworks Solutions, yes, I do think the stock is going to go up more over the next 3 to 5 years, especially as 5G gets rolled out and that revenue from 5G starts rolling in, which should be, you know, what they're going to get for their 5G chips versus everything that's been 4G in the past should be substantially higher. It's a great dividend stock. It pays, good dividends, especially based upon our cost basis, and they will likely continue to raise dividends each and every year. Amazing balance sheet. Holy smokes, I better stop talking about this stock. It's making me want to buy more of it, okay? Great management team. One knock I could say on them is they do get about 40% of their business from Apple. So it's not as crazy of a number as it is with like a Cirrus Logic, but there's still that risk with Skyworks. What if, the relationship went awry? What if, Apple wanted to use somebody else instead of Skyworks? I don't think that's going to happen, but it is a risk out there. And so, but there's a lot to be excited for with Skyworks Solutions, okay? Last stock up here, and then we'll talk about stocks I could be potentially buying in this particular account that I actually don't hold in this account, is Tesla, my Tesla. 150 shares here, and this one's a hold for me, okay? Do I want to sell Tesla? Nope. Do I want to buy Tesla? Nope. For me, it's just a hold, okay? Here's kind of the reason. Very similar to Skyworks and FB. Do I think Tesla's probably going higher over the next 5 years? More than likely. But at the same time, it's 132K. I mean, this is a massive weight in the portfolio. And Tesla in this particular account has begun to become such a large position that now Tesla's starting to move the entire account based upon really where it goes, because it's so huge. It's 132K out of a 600K portfolio. So I mean, if Tesla was to have an amazing day, guess what? The public accounts likely have an amazing day as well. If Tesla stock has a horrible day, the whole account's probably having a horrible day as well. So when I look at my Tesla position here in the public account, I'm comfortable. I would say that I'm comfortable. 150 shares, up almost $100,000 on, which is just a crazy number. I've never, if I sold out of this stock in the public account, I make almost 100K. I don't think I've ever made 100K from one stock before. Like, that's a really large number just from one stock. And a stock we've held for what, 2 years roughly? Maybe somewhere around there. It's not like we've held this for 10 years. This is like a 2-year, stock we've been in or something. The gains have been insane. It's a hold. It is a hold for me. And that it is what it is with Tesla. I believe it's going higher over the next 5 years, but I'm holding it, okay? So now let's go ahead and talk about some stocks that I could be potentially adding in the public account that I don't already hold, okay? First one up here is Berkshire Hathaway. So you guys know I admire Warren Buffett, investing legend, no doubt about it. Has he gotten a little outdated over time? Yes, okay. I will say, kind of like great athletes over time, they kind of, fall off after a little while. The Buffett man, he's still the man, but, with the fact that the tech industry has just roared over the past 20, 30 years and just come out of nowhere and taken over so many businesses, and the fact that Buffett can't really participate when it comes to all these, world-changing companies, it has made him a little, outdated. But at the end of the day, Berkshire Hathaway has an amazing business model, extremely profitable, cash like to the sky, right? We're talking about roughly 140 billion in cash, and that number could be going higher. Well, likely is going higher over the next few years because of all the cash flow that the businesses produce that are at Berkshire Hathaway. And I will say it's a cheaper valuation in the past. Now, the stock has come back quite strong along with the market recently, okay? So that makes me say I don't necessarily have to buy it. Now, don't really necessarily believe that forward P of 100. I highly doubt that forward P is going to be at 100, okay? That's going to be way lower than that. Over the next 12 months, the company is going to show some amazing profits, not just from the businesses they own, but they have to actually count any change in investment values as well, okay? Which means essentially, guess what's happened? All their stock market positions have likely gone up substantially over the past couple months, which means the numbers they'll show for net income are going to be absolutely ridiculous, okay? Absolutely ridiculous. So that 100P is the furthest thing from the truth you'll ever see pretty much in the stock market. So Berkshire Hathaway, love it, man. It's a really good company. It just frustrates me because it's just gone up and up and up along with the market. And I'm just like, dang, man. Give a man a chance to buy some shares. I mean, come on. But I would love to add some Berkshire Hathaway in the public account. I think it's a great stock, would add great diversity. Next stock up here I could be potentially adding in the public account is Hasbro. So they make a ton of toys, let's put it that way. Toys and games and things like that for kids and big kids like myself who love to shoot Nerf guns, okay? So Hasbro, ticker symbol on this one, HAS, $10 billion market cap. And there's a company that, it's another one kind of like a Berkshire Hathaway. It's come back stronger and stronger with the market. It's now over 80. I really wanted to get in this one in the 70s, particularly the 60s. but it's just ran so much. But if this stock comes down, either because the market comes down or it just comes down in general, back into the 70s, and especially if it ever went to the 60s, I will not, miss my opportunity. I will take 100% advantage. I will add this one in the public account, and I'm likely going to add this one in the dividends only account as well if it does go back down there, because this is a phenomenal dividend stock. I mean, an absolutely amazing dividend stock, very consistent, and will likely stay very consistent in terms of paying out the dividends over time, okay? Next one up here I could potentially add is the RealReal. Ticker symbol on this one is REAL, okay? There's some real upside potential in the RealReal over the next 5-10 years, in my opinion. Very small market capitalization, 1.2 billion, and I definitely see this company being a potential $5 billion, $10 billion company over the next 5-10 years, as long as they execute on a high level. And RealReal, the hardest thing for me with the RealReal is it was $11 very recently, and I was thinking about buying it, and I didn't buy it that particular day. Next thing you know, the next day it went up a bunch. It was in the 12s, and I was like, well, maybe I'll come back down. Then it was in the 13s, then it was in the 14s, and I'm like, what the heck? And now it's almost 15. And so it's been quite frustrating for me to watch a RealReal continue to go up without getting a position built. But it's not one of those stocks I'm desperate to buy. The reason being is they don't make any money on their bottom line, and they're not expected to anytime soon. And so whenever I look at those type of companies, I try never to get desperate in buying them, and try never to get really like FOMO in general to the stock market, but especially when it comes to a stock like RealReal. But hey, if RealReal comes back down a little bit, I'll be buying some RealReal in the public account. Now, the next thing people might be asking is, will I be buying any puts in the public account? Like adding any put options out there, any bets that the market will be going lower, particular stocks will be going lower, anything like that. Okay, and obviously it's a very fair question because, I do not like where valuations are right now. I think everybody knows that. I think valuations are extremely rich on the high majority of companies out there. I think we still got a lot of uncertainty to work through. And here we are today. Nasdaq just hit a 52-week high, which means if it hit a 52-week high, it hit an all-time high here today. Who would have ever thunk it? The Nasdaq hitting a 52-week high within, while a once-in-a-100-year event is still going on called Rona, right? Absolutely extraordinary. And so for anybody to be asking, will I be buying puts on this market? I think it's a very fair question. The answer is, unfortunately, no, I can't. I mean, you could have made an argument that the Nasdaq was rich 1,000 points ago, 1,500 points ago. At the end of the day, I can't buy puts on this market. And the reason being is you just don't know. One, you don't know really how the economy is going to do, how things are going to open back up. So what if things open back up really strong? What if corporate earnings get right back? Then all of a sudden valuations start to make a little sense. We don't know if that's going to happen. It could potentially happen. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. So I've never been able to buy puts in this market, even though I'm kind of, anti how much it's come back so fast without proving anything. We haven't proved anything yet in terms of corporate profitability or anything like that. And the market has just run like crazy, but I can't bet against it. I just can't, man. It's too dang dangerous because, who knows? Maybe the Nasdaq goes over 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, and you got all these put option positions, and you're just getting absolutely decimated. I mean, absolutely decimated. And I've seen a lot of people it happened to over the last several months. They saw everything that was going on with the economic numbers. Like, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going down. Nasdaq's going to 5K. Apple stock's going under 200. This stock, Amazon, it's going to be down to 1,500. And just, looking at all these different stocks and saying, it's going to go down here, going to go down there, and they placed a lot of bets that these stocks were going to go down like that, and a lot of them just obviously haven't, and they've gone up massively, and people have lost all their money. And that's why throughout this whole thing I've been like, I can't short this market. I can't buy the put options on this market. I've said that time and time again because it's just too dangerous in the end, because that's how you get absolutely devastated. Okay, so but anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot of value out of it, going position by position, giving you my opinion if I'm selling, buying, and along with some new stocks. So make sure you smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video as always, and let me know of any stocks you think I should buy in that comment section. Would love to hear from you guys as always. Thank you for watching and have a great day. If you want to know more about a private group, link in the description. First one.